everyone, Tracy here. Well, today I'm going to share with you another Fauxbonichi flip, and this is for the month of October. And October was a fun month because Halloween, and that's always a fun time. And also, I like the fall colors, and I incorporated those into this month as well. So, we're going to start with my month on 2 pages. And again, I decorated it, and I used some really fun washi with some crows, and there's some chandeliers with crows on them as well. So I used some fun washi tape, and we'll go through my, actually I'll show you this too. See this fall blessing? This, one of my friends was going to discard that. It was like the little strip off the bottom of her paper, and she knows that I save everything because I'm kind of like a paper hoarder. So she says, oh, maybe you'll use this for something, jokingly, but I did. I used it. So I got you there, Denise. So anyway, we'll start with my goals and my 10,000 steps per day. I didn't do as much as I did on the previous months. I've missed 4 days that I didn't get my 10,000 steps in. And I see that there is not one day that I did over 20,000 steps. So you can tell I'm going into hibernation mode, as I don't get as many steps in well, it's not winter yet, but we've had snow. And then my 1 can of pop or 1 can of Coke per week. As you can see, I usually just try to have one on the weekend or less. And I had one every day on Saturday, and then I even had some on Sunday. So, failed with that goal. Read one book per month. I thought I did, but as I looked back on my pictures even, I didn't. I thought I did, but I didn't. So I didn't get that accomplished this month. And organize 1 area in my home. I organized my dresser drawers. But I thought I also organized my china cabinet, but maybe that was the month before that I did that. So that is my goals for this month. Here we go. I was just driving my quad at camp, and I thought of these different prompts on my own. I had these stamps, and I stamped them out and I colored them up, and the reason I used them was because I wrote about places I've lived and homes. So the first day I wrote the perfect house, and I wrote, I love my house as it has kept us safe and warm for over 21 years. I know nothing is perfect, but here are a few things that I would love in a home. A garage. Wayne and I would love a garage, not for our vehicles, but to work in. As Wayne is retiring soon, I am sure he would love one. And I have a work shed outside, but it's not winterized. I do a lot of woodworking and stuff like that. So I only use it in the summer months. So I'm not able to use it in the winter because, like I said, it is freezing cold here in the winter. So a garage would be nice to work in. And then the second thing is a large kitchen. And I wrote, cooking sure isn't my first love, but I would love a kitchen big enough to fit more than 2 people in it. Plus, more cupboards so I wouldn't need to store so much downstairs. My kitchen isn't all that big, and if you open up the dishwasher, it takes up a lot of the room, and only 1 person can walk around it while you're loading it, so a little bit extra room would be nice. My third thing is a safer back porch. Then I wouldn't have to worry about anyone falling down the stairs. Thankfully, it hasn't happened. We have a very small back porch, and our side door is used more often than the front door. And I'm always worried that somebody's going to fall down the stairs because there's the door, and then the stairs going down, and then the stairs going up, and there isn't much square footage for more than 1 person. So that would be nice, a safer back porch. And of course, a huge craft room. Who wouldn't want one of those? And I wrote, I would need an area big enough to fit a table for at least 8 of my friends. It also has to be big enough for all of my supplies. Now I have my craft room, which I am in right now, and it houses my supplies and a little desk for me, but not enough room for all my friends. So I have taken over my husband's pool table, and I've made it all safe, so it is now my craft table. So when my friends come over, we craft over there, but it would be nice to have everything in the same area. And then another one would be a theater room, just because that would be so cool, and we were all avid movie watchers. But since writing this, my husband has made his little, I guess you call it our man cave, but I call it his gaming room, and his music room, gaming room, TV room, and he has a big screen TV, and he just got a reclining love seat, so him and I can go and watch TV down there, which is so cool because it's like It's like going to the theater, except without the annoying people who are on their cell phones half the time, or kicking your seat, or whatever. Plus you can pause it when you have to go and get something else to drink or go to the bathroom. But I would love an area big enough for my whole family to come, or invite friends over and just have a big movie watching night. So that is number 5. Number 6 is a large dining room, so we can have family over for meals, which I do obviously have our family over for meals, but some of the people have to sit in the, like for Thanksgiving, I had half the people sitting in the dining room and the other half eating at the kitchen, which isn't a big deal, but this is a dream house, people. Dream. You can dream whatever you want. So that is that one. And I wrote, I love my house and where we live. I love that we have a park and trees behind our house. So there's nobody living behind us. It's just all like a nice forest. So I love that. And then on this page, I just wrote some places we lived and what I remember from my first memories. I was like 2 or 3. I was telling my brother about this, and he and my dad, and they are like totally shocked that I remember where we lived at such a young age. And then I wrote, I am thankful that I have always had a home that I felt safe in, because isn't that the ultimate goal in life, is to feel safe and happy. And then we were at camp these 2 weekends, so I just added some stickers. And because the fall leaves were so beautiful out there, I stamped a whole bunch of leaves. And it was so busy, the background was so busy, I knew that if I wrote on it with, just journaled on it, it would get lost within all the color. So I added these journaling blocks and put my journaling on there. And I tried to get them to match to look a little bit more fall-like, I guess. That was our last weekend. And I wrote that, it is always sad when we close up camp. Summer just went by so fast. I'm looking forward to next spring when we can go back and reopen the cottage. I just love it here. It is so relaxing and beautiful. And then this page was not only fun, but I love the outlook of this page. I drew the border and, I got the idea, and I can't remember her name. She was on the Fauxbonichi Journaler's site. I should check. I credited her in my blog post. But I mimicked her border. I added color. I don't think she added color, but I wanted to add some fall color to it. And then I drew some little dangled houses, because again, it was all about places I lived. What I was thankful for was lounging at home and my warm bed. See, it's not always big things that you have to be thankful for. This was a prompt from Fauxbonichi Journalers, and it was my favorite childhood fall treat. And I said, I don't think I had a seasonal treat as a child, but I loved to get treats at Halloween. I also remember having to hide them under my pillow as my sister Julia would find them and eat them all. I remember going in there and she'd have like chocolate all over her face. And I'm like, did you have my treats? Did you have some of my chocolate? And she's like, no. So I had to hide them on her. And then I just wrote what I did that day. And one of the prompts was to draw an umbrella. So I drew an umbrella. And then I added some little texture to it and stamped some leaves. And I think also there was a word challenge to do this foligraphy. So I just wrote that I love a good storm. So I did that there. And then here I just wrote about my day. And there was a prompt, and it was, would you rather carry 1 kilogram of feathers or 1 kilogram of stones? And I noticed a lot of the women on the group, Fauxbonichi's journaler site, had said stones because they thought you'd have less to carry. And my answer was, I would rather carry 1 kilogram of feathers. I could then make a set of wings and fly. And that's why I stamped the set of wings there. Then this day was my first Friday night scrapbooking. We got back into it again after the summer and no more camp. So I just decorated with some of this really fun, like coppery gold colored washi tape. And then some gold foil tape. And then this was in a kit and I never thought I would ever use it. But I did. And I just like how this page came together. Plus my husband is a hunter and he went hunting that day. So there you go. There's the deer. And yeah, I did clean my curio cabinet. I'm going to have to go fix that because it says right here, I am so happy with how my curio cabinet turned out. So personal and elegant. So yeah, I I did organize it. I took out all the little girly stuff. I added my dad's old cameras and my cameras and some modern cameras, and just I really love how it turned out. And then this day, can you imagine what happened this day? Oh yeah, baby. Walking Dead started up again. So what I did was, instead of washi tape here, I punched out a border of, I think it's called drippy goo or something like that. So I punched that out. And I didn't want it on this side because I guess I could have. It was Thanksgiving. It could have been over here for slaughtering the turkey. But I just added this little thing here. I punched that out too. Added some washi tape. Having a little bit of trouble talking. So Walking Dead was starting up, so we made a big deal of that. And then Thanksgiving was the next day, and I had my whole family over, and we had a nice feast and enjoyed each other's company. And then that day, my daughter took photos of us out in the back. And here are the photos. Again, when I print my photos up, I usually just print them out on like typing paper or photocopy paper, not actual photo paper, so the quality's not as good, and it's thinner paper. There is a picture of my husband and I, and there's my sister-in-law, me, my niece, and my sister Julia. And then this one here is my sister, my brother, and me. So my daughter took all those, and there is a picture of my daughter and her boyfriend Blake, who also came for Thanksgiving. So I just put those pictures on these pages, even though they were taken a few days before. Oh yeah, and then this is the day Christy had to go to the doctor, and she went in. I should have went with her, but she went in by herself, and the doctor, she gets migraines like all the time. And I wasn't happy that the doctor just gave her pills instead of trying to figure out why she's getting them all the time. So I'll have to go back with her. And then this day here, I just stamped some of these really pretty flowers. This stamp I've never used, and I've probably bought it at least 5 years ago. Yeah, I think it was when we went on our trip to Montana. So probably even more than 5 years ago. So I stamped them up, and I think I colored them with my Copics. I can't remember if they were my Copics or those chameleon markers. Yeah, I just had an appointment this day at the doctor, and then sadly we had a funeral, but in the evening it was fun because we had the Friday night scrapbooking. I love scrapbooking with my friends. And then this was a Fauxbonichi prompt to draw a pumpkin. I don't know if this is the exact date because I move the prompts around all the time, but when I colored these, I totally forgot to put my blotter through there, and it bled through. You can see a little bit here, but it was really bad here. So I figured, oh well, I'll do the pumpkin there. So I drew and colored up the pumpkin. And then again, ooh, Walking Dead, baby. So another fun day. And when we watch The Walking Dead, we don't watch just that one. We watch all of them before then from that same season. So we make a day of it. So these 2 days here, I just wanted to do something different, and not much happened. I voted that day, and my daughter Heather, that was the first time she voted, so we voted that day, my husband too. And then the next day, it was just, I didn't do too much. It was just a peaceful day at home. So what I did was I drew an oval, or traced an oval, and then these are all little stamps. So I made tiny little masks to cover these up so it looks like some of the flowers are behind it. And then I drew these little sprigs in here, and then wrote some sayings or some quotes. And this might have been a prompt. Do more of what makes you feel happy. That might have been a prompt. I'm not sure. And then these here are stamps. I thought, oh, maybe I'll try and do some stamps across here instead of adding all the bulk from the washi tape. And I just took a stamp and I inked it with a few different colors at once and then stamped it so it looked more fall-like. I really like how that page turned out. And then this page, I was just playing around, and I drew a couple trees. Like, I like fairies and stuff like that. I think love those whimsical little creatures like that. And I have a fairy door outside that my dad had made me, and I have a little display in my one garden. But anyway, so I decided to draw these little trees and put little fairy doors on them. And then for this day, my girlfriends came over during the day and we did some crafting. And then Heather and my husband and I, we watched Survivor. So just not too much of an exciting day there. And then this day it looks like I just had to run some errands. So, oh, and then I received a sweet card in the mail today. So my friend Fellaine, she sent me a Just Because card, and I put a smile on my face. I was so touched by that. So that happened that day. And then this day, my husband and I, we went on a little trip. We went to Duluth, and then we went to Minneapolis the next day, and then spent the night in Duluth. So I drew our luggage, which isn't our luggage, because honestly we don't bring that much, but I had fun drawing it. I seen a picture of it and I tried to recreate it, even though, yeah, I'm not the best at drawing, but you know what it is by looking at it. And then I just drew like a little tag and filled it in. So I just wrote what we did that day and all the shopping. Oh my goodness, guys, I did so much shopping. And then this day we headed home, and my friend gave me these stickers. They're just individual stickers, so I just put them together to spell home and drew this post, and then stamped her up and colored her up. And I thought she was perfect because it was the Walking Dead day. So we got home in time to watch Walking Dead. And then the top border and the bottom border are stamps, and I just colored them in. And then this girl here, I just colored her up with some pencil crayons. Actually, they're both colored with pencil crayons. And what happened? Nothing happened that day. I was drained that day, so I think I just kind of went on the computer, maybe. I'm not even sure. Well, it says here that I was trying to keep myself awake, so I went downstairs and I tried to put away some of my crafting supplies to keep me awake. And then these again are stamps. Little Mummy Boy and the Witchy Girl, and this is another stamp border, and then I made it look like she was sitting on it, and I made it look like he was standing on it. And then up top, it's funny because looking in the camera, it looks like these are circulars, like the whites form a circle, but when I look down on it, I can't really see that. Well, that's kind of actually pretty freaky. And then I was going to, because Tuesdays are dangle or Zentangle day on the Fauxbonichi site, and what I was going to do was dangle little pumpkins, but instead of that I stamped all these spiders, and I think that looks pretty cool. So I like how those pages turned out. What else? So this day it seemed like I just put away all my craft supplies that I purchased when my husband and I went away, and then this day here I had a stamping up party, and I had my friends over for that. And then this is a fun page. I really like how this page turned out. So this was my art journal page that I did for October. And what I did on here is I just kind of recreated what I did there. I just inked, if you can see, I inked the background in purple. And then I stamped these little images. These are Stamping Up children. And I colored them in, and I just altered them. Like I put little horns on him and drew a little tail on him. Her, I drew a little crown. And then her, I drew a little tiara. And then a little wand. Those weren't there. And then he was just a little boy pulling a wagon, and I added a little cap on him so he looks like a clown. Friday was Friday night scrapbooking, and I also made this Dead Inside Do Not Open door for my Halloween display because I like to decorate for Halloween. It's such a blast. And outside I made a graveyard, and then I did the graveyard usually has like hands coming out of the ground and stuff like that, and I put these little candle things in front of them. So I also added this to my display, and my daughter had seen this on Pinterest and shared it with me. So it's just a palette, and we happen to have a palette, and it was old like this too, so I didn't have to do anything to it. I just painted on there. I found these little handles for really cheap, added this little chain that I got at the dollar store. It's a plastic chain, and added the hands in there. So it looks like they're trying to come out of the door. So that was cool, making that, and it turned out really good. My last day was Halloween, and there are the pumpkins my husband and I carved. He did the witch, and I did, oh, I forget that character. That character's name is Skell. I can't remember now, but I did him. My daughters don't seem to want to carve pumpkins with us anymore, but my husband loves to do it, so we did that that night, and we only got 33 kids. We used to get like hundreds and hundreds of kids, but they're all grown up now, it seems, so we're gonna have to wait till the next generation of kids come, and then we'll have a lot of kids coming over. So that's what we did. Handed out treats, watched some scary movies, and then I just decorated this page because it was blank. So that is my October flip in my Fauxbonichi. So thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you all had a very creative day today. Bye now.